Welcome back to Listen the Great. Today we are back and comment, like, subscribe, and share. Definitely, I need you people to help me share this video and get it to at least 1,000 views in 2 days or a day. Yeah, 1,000. I'm not even ambitious, just 1,000 views. So today we have a very different but interesting topic that I think you will all love. So our topic for the day is the inner child. Are we nursing our inner child? Who is the inner child? What about the inner child? That kind of stuff. So I remember, so let's all go back to the time we were children. So as a child, my life was very simple, I think, and everybody's life was very simple. And I'm thinking this quarantine time should be a time where you can think back to the child you are, because come to think of it, everything that has happened to your life has been leading to this moment in time. Who you are today has not just happened, it's been a process. From the time you were conceived, you were born, you grew to wherever you are today, it's been a process, and that process has been refining the queens and the kings, and it's a very important process. So let's talk about the inner child. So first we need to understand the child aspect of ourselves. Perfect example of the child in me. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother when I was a child, and my grandmother was a very peaceful soul. I really wish she was here. She was the most peaceful person I know. She didn't like drama and all that. And when I think about it, I guess that's where I got the aspect of I love peace. I don't like conflict and all that. Yeah, conflict finds me. Yeah, definitely. I can be dramatic and all, but I try to be as peaceful. I love an environment where there's peace, because when it's peaceful, I'm able to be creative, I'm able to be happy, and when I'm happy, I think I bring out the best versions of myself at such a time. So that was mainly like most of my younger years. Then I remember when I was like between the ages of I think 5 and 10. That's when responsibility starts kicking in. Yeah, those times I remember, like before responsibility kicked in, when I was like 6, 7 years. My mom used to know that I used to spend a lot of time. I used to have this like a blackboard, and it used to be at the corner of our sitting room, and I used to spend so much time drawing princesses. I had this chalk, drew the girls and shape them with these ball dresses. And to me, I always used to, when I'm drawing the girls, I used to like see myself as the princess, and I wanted to be a princess, I wanted to be a queen. And my mother knows I would spend so many hours. It used to be like I come from school, I have a snack, I do my homework, and then I get to my chalkboard. The only thing that would get me from that chalk blackboard used to be the fact that I have to have supper. Then when I have supper, responsibility, small responsibility, my only responsibility between the ages of I think 5 till the age of 8 used to be wiping the table. That used to be my responsibility, whether they are guests, whether they are not. Once you're done eating, clear the table, wipe the table. That was my first responsibility. That was the first thing my mom taught me. Like, you have to clean up after yourself, because you need to know you can't just be messing things around. And it's, oh yeah, that was my first responsibility. Then at the age of I think, yeah, from 8, the system changed a little bit to my responsibility of wiping the table. I got a new responsibility of polishing my shoes. So I'd come from school, and when you come from school, in my house used to be come from school, and then you have a snack, do your homework, take a shower, polish your shoes, take a shower, then have supper, and then goes to sleep. We used to sleep at exactly 9 p.m. It used to fake at 8:59, and my mom looks at you. Once the news start like this, we don't even discuss it. Bed. Then I also remember another part of my childhood where it used to be church. Um, God, I'm sorry. But I've always been very, very, very confident. I don't know where it comes from, but I think it's just temperament. It's a personality thingy. I'm just that person. But I remember in church, I used to spend a lot of time during the week reading the Bible and getting those funny, funny questions. Because, in my Sunday school, our Sunday school teacher used to give us sweets and biscuits for the person who's most active. And it felt like a personal challenge to myself. Like, I want to get the most biscuits. I want to just get the most biscuit, the most sweets. So ikifika ile time ya like Methali and I don't know Proverbs, and very very bubbly child. And I remember like when we moved, we had to move to a different church, and that church, when I went to the Sunday school at first, people were just so dull and everything. But I came to this church na psyching in, like I'm just a psyched child. And funny how I brought our Sunday school to life. And I remember even today when I meet my Sunday school teacher, they're always like, "Hey, you brought the Sunday school to its element because you're so active. You motivated other children to be active, and it became a very interactive Sunday school thingy." And I remember when I think I was a bit old, I don't know if it's high school, I don't know, sometime close to high school, I was actually invited to some church event where I was made like a cheerleader for Sunday school event, because when I was young, I used to be so active in Sunday school. And I'm just thinking of all these things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually had a lovely childhood. The only thing about me, and okay, I used to do my chores because I have never liked feeling like I don't like conflict. I don't like my mom scolding me. I don't like being in a place where I feel someone is taking my space and my peace. So I try to do my chores as much as possible. My elder sister knows. At the same time, the queen in me, the princess in me, where I can Skype chores, I will Skype chores. And I remember we always used to get into so much argument with my sister, and she was always like, you're such like a princess in your head. You just want to just sit and be that people to do things for you and wait upon you and all that. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess that explains why I want to be a billionaire. I want the world to work for me, but I know first I have to put in the work, then it will come back to me. Yeah, you're a mirror. So that's mainly about my childhood. But let me just say I had a lot of fun before I went to high school and lost my confidence, and then went to campus and gained it back. And I'm thinking, oh, there's a time I also wanted to start YouTube videos. It was like, I think sometime in 2015, 2016. I would sit by my balcony with my laptop. I didn't even know you can actually get a camera, you can use your phone. I would sit with my laptop and use the webcam, but I never used to have any topic. I was like, now what do I talk about? So today I'm a mom and I'm busy and I have to make these YouTube videos, and I'm like, how does life work? When I had all the time, kind of zero responsibilities, I could have been making these videos. But now when I have so many responsibility, that's when I'm making these videos. Then I understood one thing about the universe. Everything is a process that leads you to wherever you are. Wherever you are in life, it's not a mistake. It's exactly where you're supposed to be. Then I never had content, and even though I would have had content, I wouldn't have actually made any video, because that was a time when I had friends, many friends, who I wanted to please, and I wanted to be in their good books. And if I would make a video and they would say, oh, it's shitty, oh, it's a good, or I don't know what, I would actually just stop. But right now, based on all that I've been through in my life, I'm at a place where my opinion and God's opinion, Mother Nature, God, and I are the only people who can give opinions that actually matter about my videos. And I'm confident, I'm happy, I'm peaceful, I'm collected, I'm grown. All these elements had to come together for me to be at a point where I can actually be able to make videos that can inspire, that can motivate, that can actually help somebody. I am a bubble of energy, and I get to transfer my energy to you people, especially in this quarantine period. If I used to be the person who's down and beat, I'm thinking I would not be giving like positive attitude and positive energy and positive anything. But it's perfect. I haven't had like the most easy ride in life, but it has been a ride that has been important to get me to where I am and to bring Alicia to her element. And I'm glad, I'm grateful, and I wouldn't have it any other way. What about this inner child and quarantine? I want all of us to just sit back and think back to you being a child, how your life was. Because funny how most of us, actually all of us, how did we grow up? We think at a point you're like a teenager and someone just told you, wewe utaacha ujinga, utaacha utoto. You're a grown person. But at the same time, when you're having relationships, they always say the good relationships, you have to keep in touch with the inner child, you have to be bubbly, you have to be fun. And that also brings out the child in you. What do I mean? You never lose the child in you. You are a child at the end of the day. When I sit with my mother, she sees me as a child. Right now, a mother to someone and I see him as a child, and I don't think I'll ever stop seeing him as a child. But at the same time, if there's someone who teaches me major lessons, I don't know why our parents don't tell us this, but our children, actually children, teach parents more than we think we teach the child. Because when I sit with my son, I notice he's a whole different person. He has his personality. There's what he likes, there's what he doesn't like. Right now, he's in the stage where he's learning to communicate. So I'm the one who gives him the word for evil. I tell him, like, if you're full, you don't have to spit food out. If you're full, tell me nimeshiba. So he will actually be very honest. And if meshiba, I'm a sitaki. So that means I don't want something. So when he's actually full or when he doesn't want something, he'll be straightforward with me and be like, Mom, nime staki. Mom, nimeshiba. Mom, staki. And now you actually get to understand this person. You might think that a whole bowl of food is good for him. And he thinks, okay, he has a mind of his own now, he's growing. His stomach is very tiny and this bowl is very big. And when he's full, he'll tell you, Mom, nimeshiba staki. Your argument is, no, this food is more than, this is exactly what he needs. But now he's telling you, no, I, as a person, I know my extent of food and everything, and this is as much as I should take, and this is as much I need to take. So that's what I'm saying. As we are in quarantine right now, we need to get back, like just sit back and think back to a childhood. Think back to those days where you used to make chapatis with mud. Chapo za matope. We used to invest a lot of time. I remember my grandma would chase us out of the compound, like to go and look after the cows, to avoid us cooking those chapatis all the time. And us would be like, okay, now she's chased us and there's no water to cook those chapatis. When you're looking after the cows, we'd wait for the cows to pee, and then we'd use that water, that susu, to pick our mud chapatis. We were very focused. And I remember we'd cook those chapatis. It was such a, I don't know, it used to be such an amusement to make that circle that looks like a chapati. And even I remember there's a cousin of mine, we used to like tasting those chapatis. But anyway, as in being a child was a time that was a very, very happy time. I don't know, childhoods are different, but I know each and every person. If you go back to your childhood, it teaches you things. And now when you look at yourself today and look at yourself as a child, the child you were was actually prepping you to the person you've become. So as a child, you grow up, and it's always good to keep in touch with your personal personality, because I think, in my opinion, I thank God, friends have never quite influenced. Okay, their opinion has kind of mattered, but at the end of the day, I've always been, my opinion matters the most about my life. It's my life. But I'm thinking, like, there are people, you make friends and then you're in a circle of friends and you feel like the energy so much, it takes away your personality, and you start to mirror somebody else instead of yourself. You become your friends, like you pick their habits and their habits become you. But you need to also get time to sit as yourself and look at your own self, like what actually makes me happy. Does what makes Carol happy, as because she's my best friend, is it exactly okay how she does her things? It's how she does, and then I'm copying her. Does it really make me happy, or is there a way I also want to do things? In relationship, that's exactly where we most of the time fail, because we get into relationship, friendships, marriages, or companionships, I don't know, any type of relationships, and then we lose ourselves to the people we meet. We mirror their habits, and then we become like a mini them. And then what happens when you become a mirror someone else is that they get bored of you, because now it's like two people who are the same. And so you're like a mini me. Your husband, you're like, you have all his attributes at a boyaka, because genuinely now you're just another version of him. So it's always good to go back to the child you are, because when you think back to all that you have been, you'll always know who you are. And when you're in touch with who you are, you're creative, your immune system is mainly boosted. You need to know, if there's something that boosts your immune system, it's the feeling of love and the feeling of peace. These are called high hierarchy feelings. And the feelings that can diminish your immunity are feelings like anger, like fear. Those are feelings that actually really play a major game on you and your immunity. That's why they're saying about the coronavirus. And when you go back to it, it's about boosting your immunity. But how do you boost your immunity when you're filled with fear, when you're filled with anger, when you're filled with these low energies, you need to get to a point where you at your best. And your best is when you're feeling love for everybody, love for your environment, love for your neighbor, love for you, who you are, and acceptance and peace. So that's it about the inner child. Talk to your inner child. Talk to her today. Talk to him today. Find out how he or she is doing, and you to work towards being the best versions of yourself today. So this is Elysium the Great. Till the next time, you're beautiful within and without. Your eyes, your heart, your feet. Adios amigos. Bye-bye.